A fighter pilot came home at the right time and saw everything. Please like and subscribe to show your support and love. The fighter jet had barely cooled on the runway when Captain Rachel Carter grabbed her bag and headed straight for her car. She had just finished 2 weeks of training flights and wanted nothing more than to see her little sister, Emily. She didn't call ahead. Rachel loved surprising her. When she pulled up to Emily's house, everything looked normal. The white fence, the flowers by the porch, the same cozy home she remembered. But when Emily opened the door, Rachel froze. Her sister's right cheek was badly bruised, purple and swollen. There were marks along her jaw. Rachel's voice stayed calm, but her heart pounded. Emily, what happened? Emily quickly looked down. It's nothing. I just slipped in the kitchen. Rachel stepped inside without asking. Something wasn't right. A man's voice came from the hallway. What's going on? It was Mark, Emily's husband. He walked in, smiling like nothing was wrong. Oh, the famous fighter pilot. Didn't know we were having guests. Rachel stared at him, reading every muscle in his face. She had seen men like him before, men who hid their cruelty behind a smile. Emily quickly said, Rach, it's fine, really. But Rachel's gut told her otherwise. In the kitchen, away from Mark's ears, Rachel asked in a low voice, Did he do this to you? Emily's eyes filled with tears, but she shook her head. I can't talk about it. Please, just let it go. Rachel leaned closer. Emily, I've flown through storms and enemy fire, but nothing scares me more than seeing you like this. Tell me the truth, Emily whispered. If I make him angry again, it will be worse. I have no money, no car. I'm stuck. Rachel took a deep breath. She had made quick decisions in the cockpit before life or death ones. This was no different. They walked back to the living room. But this time Rachel's eyes never left Mark's. He smirked. Done with your little chat? Rachel stood tall. Actually, I'm taking Emily out tonight. Girls' night, she's not going anywhere, Mark said, stepping forward. Rachel moved toward him, closing the space between them until they were face to face. Mark, you need to hear me clearly. I've flown combat missions over enemy territory. I've been locked in dogfights with people trying to kill me. And you think you scare me? You lay one more finger on my sister, and I promise you your worst day will look like a picnic. Mark's smirk faded into a scowl. You think you can just walk in here and… Rachel cut him off, her voice like steel. I'm not asking for permission. She's coming with me, right now. For a moment, the room was tense enough to snap in half. Mark looked from Rachel to Emily, then finally stepped back, muttering, Fine, go, but she'll regret it. Rachel kept her eyes locked on him as she said, The only thing she'll regret is the day she ever met you. Then she took Emily by the hand and led her out the door. In the car, Emily whispered, You shouldn't have done that. He'll be furious when I get back. Rachel kept her eyes on the road. You're not going back, Emily blinked. What? I'm taking you somewhere safe. A friend of mine runs a place where men like him can't find you. Emily's voice shook. Rach, I'm scared. Rachel reached over and squeezed her hand. Being scared just means you're about to do something brave. That night, Rachel brought her to a safe house. A kind woman named Jana showed Emily to a warm room, with clean sheets and a locked door only she could open. Emily sat on the bed, touching her bruise. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come today. Rachel smiled softly. I didn't land that jet just to let you suffer. Emily laughed a little through her tears, the first real laugh of the night. 3 weeks later, Rachel got a letter in the mail. Inside was a photo of Emily smiling, bruise-free, holding a puppy. The note said, Rach, you saved my life. I'm learning to stand on my own again. For the first time in years, I wake up without fear. I'll never forget the day you showed up at my door and pulled me out of that house. Love, Emily. Rachel held the letter for a long time, reading it over and over. Outside, the sound of jets echoed across the runway, calling her back to work. She tucked the letter into the pocket of her flight suit, close to her heart. As she walked toward her plane, she thought about that day, the shock, the anger, the fear in Emily's eyes. And then she thought about the smile in the photo. It reminded her of something her first flight instructor once told her. Sometimes your mission isn't in the sky. Sometimes it's right here on the ground. That day, she knew her most important mission had already been completed because her sister was safe. And that was a victory no medal could ever match.